Excited to be on here and then help you guys understand what's going on with 5G, with all these the coronavirus, all these vaccines, all these supposedly real events that are going on. But excited to be on here, JJ.
Yeah, well, Sam, I love you so much. I appreciate you. You've helped me so much with this, and I've learned so much about my body, about my mind, about this business, about the importance of this business
Yeah.
from you. I've literally learned more from you with this company than anybody else. And it's such a blessing. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so glad that God brought you back. And, I'm just looking forward to moving on and helping people get through this, because
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is we've got to understand,
No worries.
I'm getting a call here. Sorry, you guys.
No worries.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
we
you call in the middle of the dang
we're
show.
dealing with a situation that most people don't understand. Obviously, none of us have ever been through something like this around the world. Maybe one country or here have been through something like this, but collectively as a human species, as one world, we've never been through something like this. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, well, not here in the US. I know there's many a communist country that have been through things like this, where their government has just come in and taken everything over and shut
Yeah.
everything down and quarantine people and did all the stuff that's going on right now. People,
Mhm.
my big thing about this is that the main problem that we have here, and the video that I was trying to test out the live stream, and I showed that video that fella put together. I'm not even sure who that guy was, but he's right on the money, smack dab every bit of the way. And ultimately, what the problem is it's government. Like the post I put out a little bit earlier today about, if we want to kill viruses, we have to kill the ultimate virus. And government is the ultimate virus.
True.
And,
Yeah.
we've got this society that's programmed to think that government is necessary, when in truth, it's not necessary. It's an evil thing, and evil isn't necessary, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I used to believe that a limited amount of government was necessary. But I'll tell you what, I read Larkin's book called The Most Dangerous Superstition last year, and that shifted my paradigm again. And I no longer believe that it's necessary, not even in the slightest. And I'm going to spend the rest of my days trying to help people understand that, and trying to help people understand that this thing is created by government. They have literally created this. And so it's really crucial that we start to help people understand, what's going on here. And your post this morning was so fantastic, Sam, because
Which one was that? I've got a lot of time on my hands. I've been doing a lot of research.
So, your whole thing about us being able to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Because, that's the thing, is you put things into such simple terms. And I'm really excited to have you in here today to give people the simplicity, because everybody thinks everything's always got to be so complicated. And you are like the master of simplifying things. And it literally comes down to electrons. We're electric beings.
Yeah.
Are you getting electrons stolen from you, or are you getting them donated to you? Which one do you think is better, kids? Well, Sam's here today to help us understand some of this stuff. And Sam, I really appreciate you being here, buddy. I'm going to just go ahead and turn it over to you now, and let's, go with whatever you want. Any screen sharing or whatever you'd like to
Yeah. So I wanted to share with you guys a very simple concept, right? The concept is we are Earthlings. We are people that live on this planet, right? So we have to be connected to the planet. We don't live in the clouds. We don't live underneath the dirt. We don't live in holes in the ground. We live on the surface. So why is that, JJ? Why do we live on this? We don't live in the ocean. Why do we live on the surface of this planet, on the ground? Why is that?
I would imagine because we're supposed to utilize the You know, we're supposed to utilize the ground. We're supposed to
Yeah,
be
right.
grounded to the.
We're supposed to, we're supposed to walk barefoot. Look at all the other animals. I mean, look at all the other species that have existed through time. Even look at a humanity through time. When did we start wearing shoes? Rubber-soled shoes.
I couldn't tell you.
Huh? Maybe a couple hundred years, but the Native Americans used to wear leather skin moccasins and things like that, right? So it wasn't forever that we've worn shoes. We've always been connected to this planet. True?
Yeah,
Right?
that's a great
That's by
point.
design. That's by design. But the modern world is more separated from the planet. Everything, there's an insulating layer between us and the planet. Whether it's your house, your shoes, or the tires on your car, you're always insulated from the planet. Why is that? It's kind of weird if you walk down the street barefoot, right? Everyone looks at you kind of like, man, why is that guy barefoot? That's right. It's very strange because separation is divide and conquer, right? When you divide something from its source, then they become dependent on you. It's very simple. We have been divided, whether it's in politics, whether it's if you believe in GMO or non-GMO, whether you believe in organic or non-organic, whether you're this country or that country, the game here is to divide people. But getting back to electrons, everything you eat, JJ, whether it's food, water, your Snickers bar or your hamburger or whatever, everything that goes through this hole called your mouth is supposed to either help you, or if you eat the wrong stuff, it'll hurt you. True?
Yeah.
Right? But everything that goes through this hole, you actually end up burning in your body to make energy to sustain yourself. Right?
Right.
And it's just a very simple question. Now, are we eating all the right things as a modern society? Probably not.
No.
Because things are preserved and things are cheap and things are sold to us. The things are convenient, obviously, but inside that convenient food, there's a lot of chemicals in there that are actually not of this earth, not made by nature. You can't go to a tree somewhere and find find bleach. You can't. It's not in a fruit. It's not made by nature. All these yellow number 5 and green number 4, all these food colorings, you can't find them anywhere. You can find like beetles, like that what is it? I forget what kind of cereal, but they have like the coloring from certain type of beetles or something like that. Lucky Charms, or I don't know what it was, right? But there's natural food coloring in food, right? But as soon as you process it, it turns, it loses its bright color, right?
Right.
And so then they put artificial color in to brighten it up, because we see in color, and so they give us bright colors to eat. If I wanted to attract hummingbirds, what kind of flowers do I plant? Depends on what kind of hummingbirds I want to attract.
Right.
Right? So same thing with humans. If I wanted more customers, what kind of food coloring should I use? Don't use brown. Yeah, don't use brown, because that doesn't look good, right?
Right.
Use red, green, orange, yellow, colors of the rainbow, because that's what the humans like.
Right.
But getting back to our health today, our health is obviously, with this COVID-19, this coronavirus, our health is a big question mark, right? So we have to look at what is it that we are doing that's giving us a healthy life, right? Do we drink clean water? Do we eat clean food? Do we breathe clean air? Do we have clean mental thoughts? And so if none of those are clean, then we can't sustain ourselves. It's like logic. 1 + 1 = 2, right? If it's 1 plus 0, there's no way you're getting to 2. That's just straight up logic. I just, if you're going to go north, I hope at some point you hit Canada. Because if you go north and you hit Mexico, then something's wrong with your map, or someone changed Mexico. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or north isn't north anymore, but it just doesn't add up. Right.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly the case, brother. They've literally made it so 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4 anymore. Now it equals 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever the heck you want it to equal.
yeah.
And that's just, obviously it's nonsense and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
So,
we're, like I tell people all the time that I learned from you basically and from Dr. Tennant, is that whatever it is you're eating, whatever you're drinking, it's either taking electrons from your body or it's donating them. One of the two.
true.
Which one do you
True.
think's better, kids? Which one? Your
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
And
Simple logic.
what I'd really love you to do some expansion on today
Yeah.
is that post that you put up this morning, because that's some hard-hitting stuff, really. If people realize what's coming down the pike with this 5G. And then for anybody that managed to see that video this morning where the guy was talking about how, they're using this scapegoat. They've created this thing to be the patsy of the collapse that's coming. It's coming now. There's no way around it now. It's just a matter of what we're going to do about it when it happens. And what they want, obviously, is they want this one world digital currency, complete surveillance, literally 1984 on steroids. And are we going to let them have it?
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just, you've seen the movie with Tom Cruise, Minority Report, where it's pre-crime, I guess, like they can predict the future crime and they go in and stop it, right? And that system gets hijacked or gets corrupted, and then he's basically hunted down, right? And so that's mass surveillance, and we're you guys remember why this country was formed? We declared independence in 1776. Independence from what? Do you recall, JJ?
Yeah, we declared independence from tyranny. And in
right?
fact, if people read the Declaration of Independence, the very first part of it, and it talks about really the whole thing talks about everything that the government, they use the term eating out their substance, sending hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out our substance. And gosh, what they were doing back then is nothing compared to what they're doing to us now to eat out our substance. And so,
pretty much, right?
Declared independence.
Yeah. So, but it starts with the mind. It starts with our ability to connect like this. It starts with our ability to share ideas and to think freely. And so that involves information. That involves like technology, right? Technology to be able to connect and communicate and share ideas. Well, if you own that pipeline, and you can tap into that pipeline, then as soon as Sam says something controversial, someone's going to know about it. As opposed to us, and we're staying on the street corner and just we're neighbors, we're talking, no one knows about it. But if there's a phone there, there's a microphone there, and it's getting to that world. And privacy rights, there's a big concern over privacy, obviously, but in the name of quote unquote security, in the name of prevention, it's ironic that we're in the prevention business, and here they are taking away the Constitution for prevention, right? It's kind of strange, but it goes back to this upgrade of 5G, and I want to show you guys something what 5G does to the body. Okay, actually, let me share this. desktop with you guys here. Can you guys see that, JJ?
Right now, there we go. Yep, exposure
Okay.
to the magnetic field.
Yeah. So so this was an interesting study from Scientific American, right? From Nature, actually. This is in Nature, but it's published on PubMed too here. So check this out. They took 913 pregnant women, right? And they gave them magnetic field detectors. Basically, these little things that can read how much radiation was absorbed by the device, and then just for one day, and then they came back and turned in those devices, and they put them into different groups: the high group, the low group, medium group, right, of exposure. So check this out. Can you read that, JJ?
Yep. After controlling for multiple other factors, women who were exposed to higher MF levels had 2.72 times the risk of miscarriage.
And that was just after one day, right? And so it goes back to those electrons. MAF is a magnetic field, right? All our devices emit radiation, emit magnetic field. Matter of fact, there's a lot of studies where you live underneath power lines, your risk of cancer increases, magnetic field, right? So this is just one of the things. But there are a whole host of studies out there that people can look at. And so I posted something. Let me see here. Let me pull this up here. So I'm closing all this here. But I posted something for these 5G installations around the world, right? Whatever I post on Facebook, you guys feel like you want, if you want to take it and share it, please do, because the whole point of this is for us to share information with each other, right? I'm gonna go to that picture. Hang on here. So there's this map of the world, and it's from UCLA. Here, let me pull up that website here. Too many pages here. So let me OOKLA UCLA 5G map. Okay. Tracking, it says tracking 5G network rollouts around the world, okay? And good thing we have access to all this. While we have access to all this, right? And so this is what's going on here. So the red is commercially available, okay? The purple is limited availability, and the black is pre-release. So you'll see in the coming weeks here, some of these dots will go to, they'll turn different colors. Okay. And so let me zoom in on, let me zoom in on China here. See what I mean? So China is obviously way ahead of us, right? They've got 5G in the red already, which is commercially available. You guys see that, JJ?
Yep.
Right? And so certain countries are ahead of us. Let's see what South Korea is. They've got, wow, they got a lot planned, right? South Korea is one of the most connected countries in the world, right? And so these are all planned to roll out. Let's see if we go back to the USA here. Oh, we got some 5G already rolling out. Where are you at, JJ?
Eucardia.
Oh, Utah. Okay.
Oh, lovely. See, now you know why I call it Eucardia.
And so you can, are you in Salt Lake City?
Uh, Basically, yeah.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
So this stuff's been rolling out. This stuff's been rolling out. And so we're bombarded by radiation every corner of this country, guys. Look at all this. Look how many have not been turned on yet. Soon
What
it's
are
all gonna
the
go
numbers
red.
for?
What's that?
What are those numbers for in the circles?
I think different applications, like how many in the area. So if you zoom out, let's say you have 7 here, right there in the middle there. And so
Yep.
if you zoom in on that 7, I think it increases to, like, see there's a 5 and a 2, and there's probably 2 installations. Oops, there's probably 2 installations in there at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Then,
makes sense.
yeah.
How about Winnipeg, Canada, Manitoba?
So yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is they haven't. Oh, actually, they got one in Vancouver, but not much not much going on up in Canada yet.
Wow. The Canadians are being smart about it.
Yeah.
I
So,
guess that's a good thing, or what?
so I don't know. So, but Winnipeg. Looks like there's nothing going on in Winnipeg for now. Right. But you guys can go to this map and kind of keep track of what's going on, when they're gonna throw the switch on, right? So in my mind, a lot of these are not really online yet. You know, if you look at the U.S., there's like 1. So come back and visit this map in a couple weeks and see what happens. You know, but anyways, if you have a risk, if you have exposure to EMF, if you have exposure to your EMF, it's going to affect the body, obviously. Your body can handle EMF. And ironically, when you have any new technology, JJ, let me stop this share here. When you have any new technology that's released, whether it's chemical technology or medical technology or high technology, right, like devices, you're gonna affect the weak and immunocompromised first. Is that true?
Yeah.
Any kind of stress, you're gonna affect the little ones, the immunocompromised, the old ones. Whoever's the weakest is gonna be affected first.
Right.
Period. That's just it's survival of the fittest, right? Let's say we have let's say we're a pack of elk or something like that, right? And the weather changes, and all of a sudden there's a foot of snow on the ground. Well, who's going to suffer the most in the herd of elk?
The weakest ones.
The weakest ones, right? And so the same effect. If you look at what's going on with if you look at what's going on with the coronavirus, let me pull this up here. So if you look at what's going on with the coronavirus, let me go back and share this site with you guys. Share. Okay. These are by you guys see that by age?
Yeah.
Okay. So hey JJ, what's life expectancy in the
Now,
US?
I think life expectancy is now into the 80s, isn't it?
No, it's actually, I think it's about 78 or so, average lifespan, right? So if you're above 80, if you're 80 plus, you're into bonus years, right?
Right.
And so we have some kind of new technology or some kind of quote a virus, right? What things are either in natural stress or man-made stress, right? But it's all stress. And so we have people that are falling ill, a higher percentage. You see these numbers,
Yeah.
right? So if you already have a weak system, then you're at a higher risk. But that's for everything. I mean, every flu season, so every flu season, the people with cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease are high risk for the flu. Shoot, they're high risk for hip fractures. They're high risk for, you know, slipping and falling in the bathtub,
Right.
right? But this thing is totally rolled up into, wow, we're all gonna die. Well, I know we're all gonna die, right? That's just a fact of living. Everyone gets 80. But here's the thing, they've got a spun that we fear dying at 80 plus, you know? I
Right.
mean, if you're a teenager, what's the risk factor of you catching this?
Pretty dang low, isn't it?
Pretty low. And this is why I look at, if I start to see, 5, 10, 20% in some of these other age groups, then I would be really worried. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So Sam, question for I know the answer to this question, but I'm hoping that you can expand on it and help people understand why they call it flu season.
Oh yeah. So so the flu is seasonal because we actually have viruses and we have bacteria inside our body all the time. And so when we are deficient in vitamin D, vitamin C, we're not out in the environment, right? Usually flu season is usually a high stress time. It's always the holidays. It's low sunshine. It's low temperatures, and we're all inside, drinking too much and stressing out over holiday gifts. And it's a low energy type time of year, but high stress type time of year. And so our immune system is down, and then the flu comes up, right? But that's true for if you notice, there's different seasons of flu for the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. You notice that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The flu season in the north is during now winter. The flu season down in the southern hemisphere is during their winter. Right? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, and
People didn't know that, right?
it has to do with the heat, right? Because viruses can't deal with heat.
Yeah, that's why when you get when you get a virus or a flu, that's why your body gives you a fever. Your body turns up the thermostat, right? Because these things can't, they're trying to burn off, the virus or the bacteria. That's why people get fevers. But what do? We take fever reducers, right? But
Right.
going back to what's really going on here. If you look at these two numbers, 889,000 and 44,000, which number is bigger?
Obviously, the cases,
Yeah, the number of cases. So what's in the news?
all those cases.
Cases. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. There's almost a million cases. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, those numbers right there, Sam, they don't add up. 44,323 deaths and only 188,352 recovered. Where's the rest of those people? What happened to them?
I don't know. They disappeared, I guess. I don't know. The only number that I care about is the 44,000, right? And so this number, if you look at the top here, it was updated April 1st, 2020, right? So these are the worldwide numbers, okay, JJ?
Yeah.
In what it was like mid December or late December, this thing kind of broke out over in Wuhan, right? And then it was declared a pandemic, when the numbers weren't really that big yet. But 3 months later, right? 3 months later, we're at 44,000 deaths global. True? Okay, so in the past 3 months, how many people have starved to death globally?
I
Right?
couldn't tell you.
How many people have died from lung cancer from cigarettes globally? How many people have died from cancer in general?
Do you have anything that can show us those numbers?
Okay, so let me look at let me pull up something here. I'm just gonna go on Google, okay, and I'm gonna go death risk.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I think the number starving to death because of this whole thing going on in the world might be the same number than what died on the flu. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
But nobody is talking about it.
Yeah. So obviously everyone is afraid of death. I mean, everyone's afraid of death, right? And so if you look at hopefully you guys can see that, right?
Yep.
Oops, I don't know where it went. It's just updating the map now. I think I zoomed in too much. So see if it'll come back here. I don't know where it went. See if I can click on it. There it is. You guys see that okay?
Yeah.
There it is. So this is total world, right? So if you take the highest one, like heart disease, cardiovascular disease, pull up your calculator there, JJ, in your phone there. 17.8 million divided by 12. Let's say 12 months in a year, right?
Let's see. How do I even divide that's a large number?
Okay, I'll do it here. So
0, 0, 0.
so just do 17.8
Divided by 12.
divided by 12 months. So you got almost 1.5 million people per month dying from heart disease. Right? And so we've got 3 months. In the past 3 months, you've got what, 4.5 million people died from heart disease globally. And then I'm freaked out over this, or I'm freaked out over this.
Right.
Right? This is what they want you to freak out over. But in reality, it doesn't add up, right? Like what, 4.5 million in 3 months versus 44,000 in 3 months? Which one should I be more worried about? It kind of it's absolutely crazy. If you look at fire, if you look down here, fire, right? People literally 120,000 people get burned alive every year, die by fire. That's pretty crazy. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Isn't it amazing how they can get people to focus on little tidbits of stuff to make it seem so horrific?
Yeah. And it's by design. It's by design, right? So I want to share why I got you guys on here. I'm going to share. I think it's a paint app. Here it is. So I want you guys to know how we're being conditioned. Okay. So you have a You have a brain, right? Everyone has a brain, hopefully. Hopefully we're not brain dead, right? So the first level of brain, right, is basically your crocodile brain and your croc brain, your animal brain, right? Basically your you want just food and shelter and just the basics, right? The second brain that you have is a social brain. The social brain allows us to work together, to form a tribe, to you know, when you work as a pack, the work lessens for the group. I mean, for each individual person, right? Because you're working as a team. True?
Yeah.
Right? And the third brain you have is thinking. A thinking brain, a higher level brain, doing math and engineering and all these like higher level things, right? Okay. So which brain is more controllable?
The crocodile brain.
Yeah, right. And so how do you get people back into that brain? What do you use? What's the tool you use?
Probably the best one is fear.
Fear. So what do you get from the news? Oh no, someone's house burned down. Oh no, there's some convict. You know, oh no, cars are dangerous. Look who got hit today. You know, your food is full of this, and this new study came out that you know, there's riots in that city. There's riots in that city. That's why you get this from mainstream media, because they want you in this brain. They want you in the crocodile brain. They want you in this Neanderthal brain.
Yeah.
It's
As
for
the
design
song goes,
purpose.
the dirty laundry.
Yeah, right. And that's why this is such a thing, right? So how do you combat this? How do you combat this fear? How do you shut this thing off other than turning off the news and changing the channel, right?
Yeah, by starting to use your third brain.
Yeah, right here. This is logic, right? This is like math. 1 + 1 = 2. That's why when I show people, that's why like in my posts, JJ, I share things like this. I share like these numbers, and then I share these numbers. And I tell people which one are they losing their mind over.
Right.
It's one of these two, right?
So Sam, um, do you have anything available that literally shows, you know what? Because I know there's a video out there. I have it saved in all my videos, and it's a video showing the blood, showing these people's blood when they do a test on several different people. They take their blood and they show it underneath the microscope, and all their blood is just kind of moving around and everything. The cells are round and that kind of thing. And then they go and have them stand next to a smart meter outside on their house. They go stand next to a smart meter for like 2 minutes. And then they come back in and take their blood again. And this time their blood cells, you see all these cells that the outer linings of the cells are all exploded and they're all discombobulated and it's a clear example that something really bad. And like one of the people could only stand next to the smart meter for like 30 seconds. She wasn't even able to stand there long enough before her head started wanting to explode with a headache. And you know, because this whole 5G thing, it's like smart meter on steroids, right?
Yeah. It's you know, so let me I don't have that video, but I wanted to show you guys this picture of let me see here. Let me go back to sharing here. This picture of this thing called zeta potential. it sounds technical, and it sounds all sophisticated and stuff, but all it is really just we're electrical beings. You guys see that red blood cell on the right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so your body has these. Your body is what, 100 trillion cells or something like that, or 75 trillion. It's a big number, right? More than the national debt. Okay, so you got 100 trillion cells in your body, and a lot of your cells are these blood cells, right? These blood cells are basically a big battery. Okay, they've got right next to the surface of the cell is a negative charge, and then right above that is a positive charge. Ironically, the Earth is the same way, right? And so when you put a electrical charge to this battery, it's gonna affect how these here, let me open this picture. How these red blood cells react to each other, how close they clump together, or how they repel each other based on charge, right? Look at this. Let me zoom this in here. You see that? So charge and like charges, similar charges, they repel each other. But when you take away that negative charge, the cells get closer and closer together, right? So when you take away a negative charge, is that oxidizer or is that anti-oxidizer, JJ? When you steal an electron.
Negative charge, that's going to be oxidizing. Correct?
Exactly. When you oxidize something, that means oxygen is going in there and stealing an electron. Let's say I steal one electron, right? And I steal one electron from the other guy. Now these two aren't going to repel each other with the same force. They're going to be just incrementally, less negative, and they'll be a little bit closer than they were before. But if I keep stealing your electrons, I keep causing oxidative stress, right? By your food, water, air, now energy. I cause oxidative stress to your body. Then what's going to happen? The picture on the right.
So that explains why when you look at that video.
Yeah.
And by the way, anybody that's interested in that, I'll post the link to that video just so you guys can see this, because if you look at this right here on the right, you look at the one on the left, the zeta potential RBC, and then the abnormality in zeta potential. This is what you're seeing in that video.
Yeah.
This is actually this is, that's what the cells look like when they go stand by that smart meter and then they come back and do it again. That's what the cells look like. They're all discombobulated. They're all blown up. They're all in a really bad way. And,
so
we've got a question over on the live side, Sam.
Yeah. What's up?
I figure we're going to get to this. This is because obviously one of our big things is to provide solutions. Because it doesn't do us any good to tell people all the problems if we don't have solutions for them. And so we just got a question from Vanita on the live side asking if there's any way to shield ourselves. And I replied back to her, yeah, we're going to get to that. And you already have the best method because she already has a Kangen water machine. But I wanted to have you at some point.
Yeah, here's how I shield myself, okay? That's it. I just donate more electrons. I'll be electron rich.
Amen, baby. The Kangen cell.
Right? Yeah, but it is very interesting, huh? Very, very simplistic. We are energy. We are electrical beings. Right? If you fall unconscious, you have a heart attack, they're going to come in with the paddles, right? They're going to rub the paddles together and then they're going to yell clear, which means everyone step back. and they're going to send a big shock of electricity, just like jump starting your dead battery in your car.
Right.
Because you are an electrical being. You're just like a car, but biological car, not mechanical. If you fall in a
that's
coma,
interesting that you
yeah.
say that, Sam, because Dr. Michael has a video out there that was one of the first things I ever watched when I started being intrigued and wanted to know why. And he says that our outside of our cells basically has a charge of a negative 120 millivolts of electricity. And that, I think the interesting correlation to that, and then he also talks about how our body runs on hydrogen. So it runs on hydrogen, that's the fuel it needs, and then it runs on 120 millivolts of electricity on the outside of the cell. And the interesting side I always tell this to people is, look at your vehicle. It runs on 12 volts and gasoline. Yeah. So you got 120 millivolts and 12, those are, correlations of each other. And then it's just a matter of the different fuel that they run on. And that's always kind of intrigued me. Also the fact that the human body is about 75% water, and so is the earth. It's about 75% water. The earth has electrical charge, electrical charge. How does all that stuff correlate?
Yeah, so your question is how does all this electricity relate to our health?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we all of us are electrical beings, right? So they can monitor an EKG, they can monitor brain activity. If you have a chiropractor friend, if you pinch a nerve, right, somewhere, you're going to get tingling in your foot or your arms or your hand or something, right? Because the flow of electricity is not there. So electricity is life. Ultimately, if you have no electricity, you're dead. Electricity is life. Every cell in your body has an engine, has multiple engines. They're called mitochondria, and their job is to make electricity. You have this little power plant inside every cell, right? And that power plant needs a certain fuel. It needs nutrients, it needs food, it needs oxygen, it needs these things to power that power plant. But basically, you're an electrical being, right? And so if you run on low voltage, basically it's not going to be a full function. You're not going to have full function when you run on low voltage. It's just like your car, right?
Yeah.
Exactly like your car. If your alternator puts out between less than was it 13.6 volts or something like that, then you're not going to have enough voltage to run the whole system.
Right. So that brings me to another question that I'm sure people are going to be wondering about, and maybe they're wondering what all this has to do with the Kong family and Kong and water. And we are electrical beings. Why is it that Kong and water is the ultimate thing that you can put into your body to provide that electricity and hydrogen that your body, that the mitochondria needs so that they can do their job? They can run like your car needs its alternator and its fuel. Why is it that Kong and water is so crucial to this equation? Why is it what you use? Why you put that bottle up there and said, this is what I use? Why?
Mm-hmm. It's the strongest, most long-lasting energy that I can consume. Without other impurities, without other. You've seen me taking apart different things, right? Different machines. There are many machines out there, but what happens is they're not designed to last, and they're not designed to be robust enough that they could have a high level of energy, high level electrons over a long period of time. So there's all these people that are vaping now. They have all these CBD pens and things like that. They're vaping, right? The early vaping pens were troublesome because the heating element would actually dissolve because it's on and off. When you heat a metal and you cool it, and you heat a metal and cool it, pretty soon that metal starts to break down and starts to flake off, and you end up inhaling little bits of whatever rust or little bits of metal breaking down, right? And so if you buy a cheap vapor pen, I guarantee you there's going to be cheap metal in the heating element, right? And that's heating air, right? Well, the same thing in this machine. The exact same thing. You're putting a lot of electricity to it, right? And if you can't have a metal that can handle that electricity, that metal is going to start to break down and rust and corrode and all sorts of things. And then you're going to be getting those impurities into your water to drink. The whole point of all this is to be cleaner, not to introduce, not to introduce more impurities, right? And so this particular machine has gotten the certification of a medical device in Japan. I've looked at a lot of devices. I actually, my degree was in medical technology. It wasn't in biology. It wasn't in physics. It wasn't in chemistry. My degree was a degree in medical technology, right?
So why is the Kangen machine different?
Better engineering. It's
And
engineered to last. It's engineered to be more powerful. It's engineered to, I've taken apart, a few years, I still have those pictures of a Kangen machine taken apart, right? And so these things are just built like they're solid. That's why they last 25 years, 25, 30 years, right? That's why they last. I mean, you can't buy something high quality at a dollar store. It's just not designed to last. It's designed to be disposable. These things are built to last.
right.
You know? And
So I want to, the thing I want to try and get across to people, because hopefully we're going to get a bunch of people that really don't know what's going on here, and they, but they're scared. People are scared out there. They need to know how they can protect themselves, how they can protect their families. And like you said in one of your posts, if you think this is the last time this is going to be coming around, you should think again, because it isn't the last time. This is going to keep happening. They're going to keep doing it, and with this 5G rollout, it's going to get even worse. And like Vanita said, how do we protect ourselves? Well, what is happening with this machine that has these quality parts that's designed to last for 35 years, whatever? In fact, there's one medical device expert who tore it apart when his wife brought it home against his wishes and without telling him. And he tore the dang thing apart and said, man, this thing should last for 100+ years. And so what is it that it's doing to the water? Why is that water so, how does water provide your body electricity? Why is this water different than any old other bottled water, or anything that somebody can just go buy over at the grocery store for $10-12 a gallon?
So let me pull something up and kind of show you guys what's going on inside the system, right? Let me share this screen here with you guys. So basically, I just pulled up Kangen electrolysis, and I'm going to open this. Well, no, that picture's not big enough there. That's even smaller. See if I can pull up something that's a bigger picture. Is that big enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay, so inside this machine, you have these plates, these metal plates, okay? 7 or 8 plates. And so when you charge this engine, these plates with electricity, okay, one of the plates is positive and the other plate is negative, okay? So you have water running through the system here, okay? you have water running through the system, and water is H2O. Okay, so when you have H2O that's hit with water, you split the water into OH minus and H plus. Okay, okay. So when that happens, right, the OH minus, right, the OH minus is going to go, it's going to be alkaline, right? That's just how pH is partial hydrogen. When you have something that's OH minus, that's going to be higher pH, and that's your Kangen water. So the machine basically splits. Whoops, where did my image go here? But when the machine adds this electricity, it basically splits your water and makes OH minus plus other H2O, right? So it makes high pH water. But then that OH minus is where you get the electrical charge. Okay. Now the H plus that got split off goes over into the acid water, right? Because you have higher amounts of the H plus, the pH is lower. It's actually inverse, right? And so that goes out the acid waste. But that's what that's the basics of this machine. We're just using electricity applied in high amounts to shock this water and to split up the water into OH minus and H plus. That's it. Now, if you have cheap plates, if you have cheap metal, those plates are going to rust and corrode because these heating and cooling cycles, whether it's running or off, these over time, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times of on and off over 6 months, a year, those plates are going to rust. Right? They're going to corrode, they're going to break because they can't handle the voltage.
So what's so special about the Kangen machine plates?
Higher grade titanium and platinum. So high that it got approved as a medical device.
Now, isn't there some sort of a difference between, because what I've heard is that the Kangen plates are medical grade titanium and medical grade platinum. What's the difference between medical grade and just any other grade?
Purity of the titanium, purity of the platinum, right? If you, because obviously platinum and titanium are very expensive metals, right? Let me pull something up here. Let me see here. I'm gonna open up my move this out of the way. So hang on here. Let me stop this share here for a minute. But so basically, if you have something that is expensive, right, JJ? You're dealing with, let's say you're making a gold jewelry, right? What's the highest form of gold jewelry? 14 karat?
I think it's 24 karat, isn't it?
Exactly, 24 karat. It's not 14 karat. It's not 18 karat. So the more that you dilute out the gold, right, the cheaper the jewelry is. Right. So let me look something up here real quick. And so the same thing happens with the same thing happens with titanium and platinum. If you're making something that you have to control the cost and you're not really, you're not really interested in making the best, right? If you're not really interested in making the best jewelry, what kind of gold do you use?
14
karat, right? Sure, you might even gold plate the thing.
Right.
Not even solid gold, or you just gold plated. And that's what's going on with a lot of the things in society now. Things are just basically junk because that's how society is. People don't think.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because I'm trying to get as much information about this out there for people so they can understand why this thing is worth every penny of what it costs. The you know, the pure titanium, the pure platinum, why does that matter to people? Why not just have it be you know, impure titanium and maybe coated with, you know, impure platinum?
Yeah, that makes sense. So, you know, titanium and platinum are metals that do not corrode. They do not corrode because they do not give up an electron. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So metal, you know, iron, you know, whether it's on your disc brakes or a piece of metal sitting out in the yard, iron is a very is a metal that actually gives up an electron very easily. And because it gives up an electron very easily, right? It is it corrodes, it breaks, right? So let me see here. So and so that's why these different metals are different grades, and they're different. They oxidize, they rust. Like gold. Gold is a very high cost material. True.
Yeah.
Because over time it doesn't oxidize, it doesn't rust, it doesn't, you know, you could buy it, you could find a gold coin from a couple hundred years ago, you clean that up, it still shines. But you find a piece of metal that's like, you know, like a, I don't know, a sword or whatever from a couple hundred years ago, that thing is going to be corroded, that thing's going to be pitted out and all sorts of stuff. And the same thing is going to be the same thing is going to be true with titanium and platinum.
Right. You know, that's super interesting that, you know, the metal, the piece of iron or whatever, is the reason it turns to rust out in your backyard is because it's giving up electrons. And isn't that virtually the same thing that's happening to us when we're
Exactly.
up all these electrons because of everything that's going on in our environment? Essentially what's happening to our body is it's rusting.
Exactly. And so so let me go back to this. So the same thing that happens to the same thing that's happening to your body, right? Stealing of electrons is basically rusting. And interesting here, JJ. So what is the oxygen carrying molecule inside your red blood cell? What is the molecule that is actually grabbing onto the oxygen and carries oxygen to your cells?
I wish I could answer that, but I get to
All
learn
right,
something new
it's
today.
hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin, okay. Yeah.
Hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin has an iron component to it, right? Iron, you know, IRON, right? Iron, right? So that's why they measure your hemoglobin when you go to the doctors, right? If you're low in iron, then you're anemic. Then you don't have enough red blood cells. You can't carry enough oxygen, right? My company, Amgen, I used to work for. They made this this drug that stimulated red blood cell production, Epogen, right? Basically, Epogen was a brand name for erythropoietin, right, which is a chemical that's made in your body to stimulate red blood cell production. But you need, as a factory, you need iron, you need oxygen, you need protein, you need all these things to make your cells. Iron, and inside your body, you have lots of iron. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
So, and so this was a study by Lori Tauscher. She's an engineer, and she broke down these devices, and she did all this looking at the quality of the metals, right? And so you've got different processes for plating, and different processes for the composition of the metal here. And so if you zoom in at 500 magnification, you're gonna be able to see like what the quality is. you know, and it's the same. It's, you know, these things are either built to last or they're not, you know, and so that's why, because of the quality, that's why right here it says the Japanese government. Can you read that,
Yep.
JJ? The whole paragraph here.
Yep. The Japanese government has licensed Enagic as a medical device. It is the only machine of its kind sold in the United States that is certified as a medical device in Japan.
There it is. That's good, right? And then go ahead and read the second paragraph here.
Another reason the Japanese government certifies Enagic as a medical device and no others is the ISO, International Standards of Organization, certifies Enagic with ISO 9001, a comprehensive quality management certification, ISO 14001, an environmental management system certification, and ISO 13485 that represents the requirements for a comprehensive management system for the design and manufacture of medical devices. Enagic is the only device of its kind sold in the United States that has all three of these ISO certifications. So Sam,
It is the only one. It is the only one, JJ.
Why is that important?
Because it is the only one. This is the top of the top.
So
this is the only one. Everyone else is a kitchen device.
Right. So did that person,
everything else is a kitchen device. Everything else will break down. Everything else will last you a year, and it's going to go on the fritz.
So for that person, Sam, that says, well, it's not registered in the United States as a medical device, what do you say?
Really? Like, yeah. So they're saying, so the U.S. makes the best stuff, right?
I guess
the U.S. is the U.S. is not the top of the world anymore, unfortunately. What if you want to look at, let's say infant mortality, right? By country, right? Which country protects their children the best, right? Which country, if so let's say here, let's see here, you guys see that? So out of every 1,000 kids, can you guys see that? Okay, or is it dropping out there? So out of every 1,000 kids in Angola, 180 kids die. That's crazy. That's a ridiculous amount, right? But if you scroll down here, so out of 1,000 kids in Singapore, only 2.3 die, live births, right? So if you look at, let's find the US here. Where's the US? Sweden, Japan. Well, Japan's 2.8, number 4 out of, 180 countries or something like that. Where's the USA? I don't need things approved by the FDA. Where's the USA? Where the heck are we? Oh, here's Canada. Canada's at 5 out of 1,000, right?
Yeah. Where is the United States on there? There it is. 6.
Oh, here's Canada. I mean, here's the USA. Wow, shoot, Cuba. Wow, Cuba's even better than us. What the heck? Right? Wow. And here's the USA. Look at our peer group. Well, right here, we're next to the European Union, right? Look at our peer group here. We've got Lithuania, Belarus, Croatia, the Faroe Islands. I don't even know where that is, and Cuba. That's our neighborhood we live in, guys.
Wow.
We don't live in the swankiest part of town anymore. And for someone to say to someone, okay, well, we could look at so why is it approved as a medical device in America? Because America doesn't know anything about health. That's why. America is a pretty sick population, and they wouldn't
Dang it, you're locking up there, brother. Shoot. Looks like we lost Sam there. He'll be back. Hey, Chris Hoggard, good
There
to
I
see
am.
you, buddy. Never seen you on the show before. Good to see you in here. I
Hey.
hope you're getting some good value out of this. Sam,
Okay.
Sam comes on the show once a month with us, the first Wednesday of every month. And
Hey, can you guys,
a lot of great value.
can you hear me, JJ?
Yeah, now you're back. We're not seeing.
Yeah, so I must have been speaking too much truth there. My Wi-Fi dropped out instantly.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, your photo, need to turn your camera on though so we can see you.
Okay, here, let me pull this up here. So, you know, for someone to ask me, so why isn't this approved by the FDA? Well, the FDA approves drugs.
Right.
That's what they approve.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about health. I wouldn't go to a car mechanic and ask how my plumbing in my house is. You know?
Right. And I call them the Fraud and Death Administration, and
Yeah.
I call them that for a really good reason, because that's what they are. And you know me, Sam, I just talk about the truth and tell people what it is, and I'm not really concerned about popularity or anything like that. I'm only interested in what the truth is. And I've
Sure.
shifted my paradigm over and over and over and over again over the years as truth forces that. And
True.
you know, the FDA, they're the bane of all of our existence. And quite frankly, just to give Ed Griffin a little plug here, anybody interested in learning just how horrific the Fraud and Death Administration is and why I call them that, just read this book right here. And you don't even need to read the whole book. Just go to the second half of the book. It's called The Politics of Cancer. And it talks about I say this all the time, and I will never back away from it. The only reason that cancer exists in this world is because of the United States government, and specifically the Fraud and Death Administration. And Ed Griffin has absolutely documented it in that book beyond any shadow of a doubt. And, you know, quite frankly, it's really sad that we can't tell the truth about our product and what our product can actually do and helps with and all that kind of stuff. We're not even allowed to say it. And,
True.
you know, the only reason that that is the case is because of this one entity. And I call them the Fraud and Death Administration, because that is what they are. And do your research, kids. You'll find out that's exactly what they are. So
yeah, it just, you know, you know, these things are, I'm gonna go back and try to share my screen with you guys. So we're not at a place where we can brag that we're, you know, we're number one, you know, in health outcomes. So if you can you guys see this screen?
yep. We
Okay,
can't
so this is countries ranked by life expectancy. Okay, this is current data. Look at that. So Hong Kong, Japan, Macau, Switzerland, Singapore, Italy, Spain, Australia, the Channel Islands, and Iceland. That's your top 10 right there. Let's see if we're in the next 10. Where's the USA, guys? You see it there, JJ?
still looking.
There's 11 through 20. We're not in the top 20. Okay, let's go to the top 30. Reunion. What the heck is Reunion? I don't even know where Reunion is. We're not in the top 30. What the heck? Where are we? There's 31. How about the top 40?
Nope.
I didn't know we dropped that much. There's 41.
Down there,
Oh,
40.
46. There we are. See, so
Cuba
life
has a
expectancy,
higher
check
life
this out.
expectancy than we do.
Yeah. How come Cuba is always beating us? Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, it's because they've got socialized medicine.
Yeah. Look, okay, so look at our neighborhood, guys. Look at the 5 above us and look at the 5 below us. Is that nuts? So the 5 above us are Cuba, Estonia, Lebanon, Poland, and Curacao. I don't know what that is. I'm not a very good at my geography here. And the 5 below us are Panama, Croatia, Albania, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates. Right? And actually, our 79, 80-year-olds aren't that healthy looking. You know? Usually the most healthiest people are some people living in Japan on an island called Okinawa. And that's where the founder of Anaja came from.
Right.
Right. If you guys can get your hands on this book, it's called Blue Zones. It's a book. See if images. I'll show you guys the book so you guys can go get it on audio or something like that. There it is. One of these pictures here. So, where'd it go? 9 lessons for living longer. Lessons for living longer, right? So buy this book or get it on audio, or maybe there's a YouTube video or something like that. Let me see if there's a video here. Blue Zones book. There's probably a free there's a 20-minute lecture on Blue Zones. Sometimes someone will read the whole book. Sometimes there's someone who put the but look that up, okay, guys? It's about what it's very critical today because people are looking for health. People are really looking for health, especially during this crisis. They want to be healthy. And so I tell people it's really simple. It's your food, it's your water, and it's your air. It's also your home. So those 4 things.
Turn your camera back on.
Yeah. So those 4 things, right? Your food, your water, your air, and your home. Those 4 things are essential for every single living organism on this planet until the end of time. If any of those 4 things are polluted, your body will be polluted. Period. That goes for panda bears, that goes for chipmunks, that goes for raccoons, that goes for deer, that goes for whales, that goes for fish, it goes for anything.
It goes for viruses too.
Yeah, it goes for plants, fungus, mold, right?
Yeah.
So those 4 things have to be true for you to have a good, long, healthy life, whatever kind of life you have. And so all we have is this thing. That's what we have. It's the simplest thing ever. This just because I came from a pharmaceutical world that was very complicated, overly complicated. We're chasing our tails in the pharmaceutical world. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Because if we did, we wouldn't be stuck in this situation with coronavirus, would we?
No.
Right?
No.
So it's time for people to fess up that we've been led astray. It's straight up, we've been led astray. And I tell people, it's like, if you want to keep doing whatever you know and whatever you believe, then keep doing it. I'm going the other way. I'm turning back.
Right. So Sam, there's one last thing I'd like you to address real quick, if you wouldn't mind, before we head out of here. We've been a little longer than normal, but I don't care because I think this is extremely valuable discussion. And hopefully we're going to get this shared out far and wide and get people tuning into this discussion. But right now, because of the way everything is kind of shut down, everybody is like scared off their rocker to spend any money to, you know, I've had 6 people that were going to buy machines that have backed out now because of this economic crisis. And my thought process to all of these people, of which I have told them all, is this is why you need this machine more than ever. This is why you must make this investment now. For you to be waiting till who knows when for things to recover or whatever, you're making the wrong choice. You really need this, and you need it now. And it's more important now than ever.
Yes.
Is that something that you agree with? And if so, why?
Yeah. So I don't, I use the way I approach people. I don't tell them what they need. I ask them this question: how long do you want to live? Answer me that question. How long do you want to live? How healthy do you want to be? Answer me that question. How free do you want to be? What does freedom mean to you? I ask them questions and they tell me. They tell me, right? And if they say, I'm fine early, then by all means, you don't need this. This isn't you. Next. I'm not going after the sheep. Right? I'm going after other leaders. I don't need followers.
Right.
I don't need to babysit adults. Right? It's survival of the fittest. More than ever, obviously, right? If you're not fit, if you have other health issues, I'm sorry, but disease is going to take you out. It's survival of the fittest. It's always been like that. No exemptions. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care if you're the Pope. If you're not healthy, you're going to get taken out.
Right. I love
Period.
what
No exemptions, right? What's that?
None of us are getting out of here alive.
I guarantee you, right? I guarantee you, right? And so what kind of life do you want to have? And if you're a multi-billionaire and you can give, you know, you're already successful and you're already happy, then maybe you should give me advice. Right? But from where I see it, people need to stop knowing so much and just start doing something different. You know, I got sick people giving me health advice. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, people selling, buying. People selling me fear. People selling me junk all the time. People selling me soda pop. I ain't buying.
Right.
Right. And so it comes down to something that I heard from Grant Cardone. Right. Sell or be sold. So I'm either selling you my idea or I've been sold your idea. I'm either selling my belief or I've already bought your belief. And the same thing for the other person. Either you believe in simplicity or you believe in complexity. I don't care. It's not my life. I'm trying to save my life. I'm trying to work on my life, right? And my health. If you want to do what I'm doing, then get on board. If you don't, then don't get on board. I got other people to talk to. I care for you enough to share this information with you, but if you don't believe me, it's okay. I won't take it personal. Right? But I care enough so much for you that I share this information, and I care so much that I will attend your funeral. I care that much. Straight up. And some people say, wow, that's pretty rough. No, hey man, if it rains, I'll still attend your funeral. Because I know if it rains, most people won't go to other people's funerals. Right? More than ever, this is a question about what we truly value. If you value money over your life, then it's going to be a problem.
That's a great one right there.
right?
Huge. That is huge.
Right?
You see why we love this guy so much there, right?
Absolutely. This is the knowledge and the wisdom between this. The whole conversation is outstanding, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, it's just straight up logic, guys. And so a lot of things that don't add up to people is because they don't know. You know, we're in this situation. We're in this situation. Everyone's well, I know what's going on outside this wall, the other wall. I know what's going on. We're being fooled. We're being taken for fools, right? There's supposedly this virus that's killing half the world, but it's not really killing half the world. It's so infectious, right? But it's not deadly. What kind of how could this thing be so infectious and not deadly? I don't care, man. Pass E. coli around, right? Pass the flu around, right? It's infectious. I guarantee you, it's infectious. But if it ain't kill, if it won't kill me, it'll make me stronger.
Yeah.
Right. But everyone's running around like sheep with their, or chicken with their head cut off, like in fear and panic and wearing masks and doing all sorts of stuff, like, So I'll play the game. I'll play the game like everyone else plays the game, but I understand the game. Right? And most people don't know they don't know it's a chess game out there. Most people don't know. There's things going on at a much, much higher level than me or you or everyone. We're all just chess pieces. I mean, we're all just checkers pieces, actually. But we don't know that it's a chess game. Right, JJ?
Yeah. Yeah, Sam, I gotta give you a little bit of a plug. And I gotta tell everybody that, if you're not friended up with Sam, you really should send him a friend request and make sure that you let him know that you saw him on the show here.
Yeah, send me a message too, okay?
What's that?
Yeah. When you send me a friend request, message me and let me know who you are. Otherwise, I got like 700 friend requests and I don't know who's who, and I'm trying to work my way through them. I don't know who's who.
Yeah, I'm the same way, brother. It's one of my big pet peeves with Facebook is drives me nuts when I get friend requests from people and they don't tell me why they sent me a friend request. I figure it to be a matter of common courtesy. So I always encourage people, if you're going to send Sam a message, you make sure that you send, or if you're going to send him a friend request, you also send him a message that tells him who you are and why you sent him the friend request. But if you're lucky enough to be able to become friends with this incredible man right here, you're not going to regret it. And I'm sure the time is going to come where Sam's going to have some sort of a page or something, if he doesn't already have it, where those 5,000 people weren't lucky enough to get in there on time and become friends with this amazing human being. And they're just going to have to go for the other side of the equation, whatever. But that's the simple, blunt matter of the fact is, kids, is you want to hear what this guy is saying day after day. You want to be seeing his posts. You want to be sharing his posts. You want to be paying attention to what he is saying. There's a reason why we want him to come in here on this show every month, and even more often if possible. He's such an incredible giving man, and he's already been to the other side and come back. And we're just thankful and grateful and blessed that God brought him back. And Sam, I just can't tell you how much I love you, man. Words just don't even convey how I feel about you, man, and how much of an impact you've made on my life already. And
thank you so much, JJ.
Thank you so much, brother. I mean, I really appreciate everything that you're doing to help us, get through this. We need sound, solid discernment. And the only way we can get that is through sound and solid information and getting it shared out there, wide, far. And, so what a great thing having you here today, buddy. I so appreciate it. Does anybody else?
Well, thank you, JJ, for the accolades and what's that?
I was just asking if anybody that's in the live here, if anybody has a question or a comment or something before we kick off out of here for Sam.
Yeah. So
Thanks for your time. There was lots of information. I appreciate that.
yeah, no problem, buddy. So yeah, I do a lot of research. You know, I think very deeply about these concepts, and I try to help everyone connect the dots, because you know, at face value, we know, like, man, this doesn't add up. Why is the world shut down? I don't understand, like, what is going on here. Well, I try to explain to people what is going on. I try to keep it pretty simple, you know, but we're not told everything. For most of the time, we're kept in the dark. There's the 1%, and then there's the 99%. I know that I'm part of the 99%, but I also have the understanding of the 1%. I know the game. And so it's my job, it's my duty, it's my mission to share that with you guys. That we're, you know, there's a bigger plan going on here, and the plan doesn't involve us, unfortunately. But once you know their plan, then you can kind of see through the games. And I see through the games. It's just like, you know, they're going to make us dependent. They want you dependent, not independent. That's the game, right? So I want you guys to be able to think and get into that higher brain, that thinking brain, that logic brain, and look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Don't buy the fear, because fear will get you into that crocodile brain, and you'll start hoarding toilet paper. I don't know what that was about. That's kind of crazy. I was like, what are all these people doing with like mounds of toilet paper in their garage? I don't understand.
Well, Tina spelled that out. She's one of the most logical people on this earth. I'll tell you what, she can't read, she can't write, but she is the most logical and common sense person ever. She said, well, it's simple. It's something that people need every day.
I think it's just, I think that at CYA, right, it's cover your ass. And so for most people thinking that's the only way they know how to cover their ass is with toilet paper.
Oh, Sam, thank you so much, brother. You always bring good stuff. You always bring some giggling and all that, because, you know, if we're not having fun, we're doing something wrong. And, you know, I just appreciate you being part of this family and helping us towards our mission, you know, because we are the Khan family and we're here to change the world. And people might think that's crazy and unattainable or whatever, but to all those people, I say, you just sit back and watch it happen, or you get involved with it and help us make it happen. But we're doing it. One glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen water, 9.5 at a time, one lightning bolt in a box, one incredible, informative guest, one fun and informative show, one amazing family at a time. And so, Sam, God bless you and yours. And thank you so much for being here. And we look forward to seeing you again next month, if not sooner.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's just keep this ball rolling, keep getting out the good information.
Yeah. I appreciate being on here, JJ, and you having this forum to gather everyone and get this information out, because it's one family. You know, when I was in a coma 6 years ago, when I fell and hit my head and went into a coma, I was in a different place. I experienced heaven. And let me tell you guys, heaven is love and acceptance. That's all it is. There's no jealousy, there's no fear, there's no anger. Heaven is just acceptance and love and acceptance. They're actually the same thing. And so if you love something, you have to accept it. So I accept this world. I accept the good and the bad. I take it all in, but then I choose what to focus on. And I choose to focus on freedom. I choose to focus on awareness as opposed to being unaware. And so I'm just trying to bring awareness to people that you have a choice. You can actually know the truth, or you can actually live in the dark. So, you know, people have told me, Sam, you live so lightly. You bring common sense to a complicated world. And I said, well, who the heck complicated it in the first place? It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be water, food, and air. It doesn't get much simpler than that, guys. Like who the heck changed the game on us here? Right?
Well,
So,
people don't like hearing this answer to that question, but I'll tell you, it can be summed up with one single word: government.
yeah, pretty much. Right?
If we want to,
We're all just talking monkeys on this planet. You know, we're all just talking monkeys on this planet, but some monkeys think they're better or better dressed, or you know, they got more toys or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, we're all just talking monkeys. And so, you know, exactly. Right? So yeah, go watch your King Kong movie, right? And so, but rule this place, like become King Kong in here, right? In your mentality, become strong in your mind, because that's where freedom starts.
well, I'll tell you
Freedom
what, Sam,
starts in
I
your
ain't no
mind.
talking monkey, brother. I'm a talking gorilla.
All right, guys, it's a blessing to be here to share this journey and share this life with you guys. I look forward to our next session, JJ.
Don't forget your hugs, kids. You can't. It's not legal to get hugs from anybody else right now.
Yeah, it's illegal now. Okay, hugs are illegal. Yeah. Hey,
Appreciate you, Sam.
yeah, I appreciate you guys too. So let's keep this going, okay?
Right on, brother. Love you, Sam.
Love you
Love
guys.
you guys.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Make it a great day. Get out there,
All right.
in the world, starting
Stay
with your
safe. Okay.
Woody-hoo!
Bye, guys.
Hey, logical hippie, you got a couple minutes?
Yeah. Hold on. Where am I? There I am. What's up?